Now, let's pick up the story there, and we're actually going to be reading verse 12 of 2 Samuel chapter 6. Here we go. Now, King David was told, "The Lord has blessed the household of Obed-Edom and everything that he has because of the ark of God." So David went to bring up the ark of God from the house of Obed-Edom to the city of David with rejoicing. Now, what I want you to see here is that David looks and sees the blessing upon Obed-Edom because of the Ark of the Covenant's presence there. And as he sees that, he remembers that God had called him to bring the Ark back to his city, and so now he goes back in obedience to what God originally called him to do. Does that make sense? All right, come on, guys. It's my first Sunday back. You're going to have to give me a little slack here. Let's try it again. Does that make sense? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So he's bringing it back. So he decides, now I'm going to go get it from Obed-Edom. So he's reminded of what God had called him to do. The first key to reckless worship in our lives is we have to know clearly who you are there for. You know, David was easily distracted at the circumstances that he found himself in. He was easily distracted because things didn't go the way that he had planned, and he almost abandoned ship until he was reminded of what God had called him to do. In our lives, we may be tempted to be distracted by the circumstances of our life, but we need to be reminded that we don't worship God because of the circumstances in our lives. We worship God because he is worthy of our worship. That's why. I don't worship God because he blesses me. I worship God because he's God. And I worship him, and when I worship him, sometimes he does bless me, right? In fact, I believe that God loves to bless us. But when my motivation of worshiping God is to be blessed by him, I have it upside down. See, my desire in life is to worship him for who he is. That he is the King of Kings. He is the Lord of Lords. And if he never does another thing for me, I'm still going to worship him because he is still worthy of my worship. See, that's what worship is all about. I'm not going to worship you to get something. I'm going to worship you because you're worthy of my worship. I'm going to worship you, Jesus, because you left the heavens and you came to earth, that you lived a perfect life and you freely laid your life down, that you were tortured and killed for me. Because I needed to be punished for my sin. You took that punishment upon yourself so I didn't have to. And that in and of itself is enough that I will worship you for the rest of